I encountered like 13 years ago. I shot the very first image of APOLONIA, so-called, back then a very young painter. And she was such an extraordinary woman, a female painter, a female artist. And I felt so lucky that I could be like the first viewer. I was like first row to see the growth of this very ambitious young woman. And it was completely addictive, because on our screens not so many female artists have been portrayed. And for me to be able to record in real life and real time a female artist struggle to succeed with both her own dreams, ambitions, and balancing that integrity also, and facing like the structures of the industry she was in, the art industry, that reflects also a lot on my industry, our industry, the film industry. So there were many challenges along the way, but I knew it was so important to get the scope of time for Apollonia and see her like through these many stages. It really took a life form of its own, this film. I mean, I didn't expect much when I opened this very first shot with Apollonia, but I did find a very extraordinary woman and painter. And in her early works, for instance, she also paints her own, to kind of search for her own history. And these deep kind of layers was very inspiring also for me as a filmmaker. So I knew that time was going to be essential. I knew it was an extraordinary young woman. And I come from a background of artists myself, but painters, but very much more like, I know this pain there also can be connected to like not selling your paintings, which has been the case sometimes of the painters in my family. It was so precious for me to see a young woman who was not afraid to go out into the commercial world also, which was a bit the case in my family. I think that this part of being always having to sell yourself. Of course, I didn't know what this journey would lead to, but I did know that seeing a woman trying this journey to go from nothing to to rising in both the society and the art world is something that I had never seen before. And because now we have like equipment, we have video cameras, it's affordable, there's been like a whole feminist revolution that makes it possible for us as female artists to be here today. So it was just this very unique chance to see our society in this way. I mean, clearly it was a life-changing experience to create this film. And I think in a way we became also like sometimes partners in crime, because it can be like a quite lonely existence to be an artist of any sorts, but we always had like each other and could mirror each other in this task. And she says that she's sort of, her oxygen is like painting. And that was very inspiring to me, because she would always be very, how can you say, supportive of me, because she was like, okay, but art is the most important thing in the world, and you're an artist and you need to do your project. That was kind of how she would see life also. Finishing was, actually it was more not finishing. That was our problems in the beginning, because as I, Sissel Siersted, producer of the film, and we kind of realized that after a certain point that what we had thought could be an ending to this film was not an ending, and we could not leave the heroine of our film hanging in the air like this. And then of course also life happened after that, and then we couldn't close the film because of all of these incidents that came that we could not control. But at the same time, that was also what made us grown women, and we saw life as it also really is. And then we knew we needed to finish the film. Yeah, no, I think that we live in like tremendous, exciting times. There has been so many past generation of feminists and women working to make it at all possible that a film like ours could even exist. We started this film in a female founded company, director-founded company, and then we, I was in a position to get into the film school, to be allowed into the financing industries, and being in a time where also these stories is something that was able to be recognized by boards or by people who give grants or juries and so on. So I mean, I say that this film was my own personal step into feminism, and my own personal education into feminism that reaches many generations past. And I think it's so important not to, really to make a stand and continue to be very open about these things, and that a need for solidarity amongst us, everyone, to make a diverse film industry, because the glass ceilings are still there, and sometimes the nice words are there, but the actions doesn't follow, or the money doesn't follow. And so in our industry, it's important to count and demand that we have equal rights, equal pay, equal amount of representation of gender and ethnicities and so on. So I think it's very important not to forget to fight when we see.